Hello there. Greetings. Thanks for joining us for tonight's broadcast. I'm still on the road. I'll be back tomorrow. Back to your normal location. That's about it. Have a nice day. Today's broadcast is about Secret Space Program, and I think technically we're all involved with it, which I never got that kind of angle before, but I'm going to more of that angle now. I just was at the parks today. Went to 3 parks. I'm kind of worn out from it, but kind of a spontaneous idea. One thing about going to the theme parks, which I didn't really think about either, is when I go there, bringing my energies there, but I'm doing stuff there that's beyond channeling. I don't know what it is, but I'm here to, you can say, lift the energies of it or something like that, or whatever you want to call it. However you want to word that. So some might say, either way, it's more than what meets the eye. Let's put it that way, and that's along with everything else. So I just want to put that out there. Let's see. As for where we are heading, I got a message last night, which I never looked at it at this angle before, that I'm part of the Secret Space Program, but so is obviously, from my feeling, as everyone else is also in some shape or form. But what does that mean exactly? Well, I can tell you what I got from it. Because I was listening to some other, I think it was Randy Kramer. I was listening to some of that because I knew about it, but I don't know anything about it. I mean, I knew of it, but I never really listened to an interview, let's put it that way. So I was listening to that yesterday. And after that, I think it was after the record, I forget, either way. What I received on it was, not on that recording, but on the Secret Space Program altogether. What I saw for myself, let's put it that way. Okay, it wasn't much, but what I saw was Mars. I saw Palladian beings, I believe so. Kind of like a white room. A white room. I don't know if it was actually on Mars. I think it's on Mars somewhere. Always my alien self. I believe I was sitting in a chair. So it was in a room though with other beings, and that's about as far as I got with it. I was thinking more would come in here, but apparently not. But it has a lot to do with, it's just kind of like the alien Black Ops energies. But I'm doing channelings here, assisting in our little wave into the future, our walk into the future, you can say. And I'm not sure if you can hear that or not, but I'm not sure what that is. Anyways, figures. It's been quiet all night until I'm not sure what that is. Yeah. Either way. Of course, my concentration just got shot with that. Well, I'll tell you, patience. I keep putting that energy out there, patience. For where we're heading, patience. It's like, it's good to have your intentions. I remember in the past, I've become very impatient until the universe, I'm getting tired of this. And the universe said back, tough. And nothing ever changed. So it's like, okay, thanks. So I believe, it's good to have your intentions out, what you want to experience. There's nothing wrong with that. You're attracting what you want to experience. Of course, there's nothing wrong with any of that. But I believe patience is really the key to all of this. Live your life with love and not worry about it. I don't want to get back to spaceships and get off this planet as fast as possible. I quite understand that, but Trust me, you're not alone. But I believe patience is the virtue. I mean, find things that fulfill you here. There must be something. Because when I was at the parks, I was at Universal, I felt a Palladian presence. And I've not felt like anything like that in a long time. I felt grays around in the past. I felt Palladians in the past, just giving me a signal. But this one was around for a while. I even channeled them. And it has a lot to do with just your perception of things. They didn't go into a whole lot of detail. I don't really remember the message anymore, but they always hold stuff back for good reason. But either way, we're going into a phase of more knowing in due time. So I believe it has something to do, now that I'm remembering, something about first, like, for those that will get a visitation, it's for those that don't know anything about any of this. So either way. But either way, where we're heading is, the feeling I felt from that, they were around for a while too, and it felt just so strong. It felt very peaceful. It was just so, it's like, it was so reassuring. It felt really good. I mean, I just felt the presence of them. And it lasted quite a while, actually. So it's just, that's why I go back to the whole patience thing. It's just when you say, I want to know it now, I want to know it right now and all that, I don't know. I think it's better. I mean, whatever you want to do, but I think it's better just to chill and just let nature take its course, basically. And I know some are going to have difficulties with that, but I think that's the best bet. Like what's going on in North Korea, I mean, who saw that happening that soon? Anything else is possible. Of course, seeing the future is nothing wrong with that. Who knows? It is, they're not going to, I mean, we are the child race, but we're growing up little by little. And when I say child race, you look at Disney, you look at even Universal, it's like it's just babysitting, basically. That's all right. I mean, we're figuring this all out. They don't expect us to get it all, understand it all, obviously, but we are getting those of you who are ready for more of a contact. I believe it's a possibility some down the road for sure. As for how that works, they ain't gonna tell me, but it does feel like we're allowing more of this to be a part of our lives without the drama and just a peaceful connection. So just not worry about it so much and then go with the flow. And as for the secret space program energies, I'm not sure if they're going to tell me anything, but we'll see what we here. Before I go into any of that, I forget how to use this thing. For those that are new to this, is ivanteller.com. We have private sessions opened throughout the week. We have it's the schedule here. Also Google Hangouts, Zoom, and channeling by phone, Skype connections, Skype recording. We also have the shop here, and it's 1 to 10 days. I'm going as quickly as possible. Just thank you for your patience. We also have Spirit Social, and here's other teller services here. I'll be adding more to the channel and text eventually. We have Spiritual Connections. Their channelers, which I highly recommend, to put it that way. And also, while we're here, this is the Jake comic that's coming up. This is Easter Bunny lost his mind. Or that's a little kid saying that. That's the Easter Bunny with his machine gun. It looks like Rambo. So I'm going to put that as a cover for... I'm not giving any details yet, but Jake's just having a bad day. Also, want to go into QAnon, or how do you pronounce that? And also Microsoft and Google, a little bit here and there on that. I mentioned it a little bit of past. That's for the secret space program once again. Let's see here. All right, where are you allowed? Okay, one moment. I'm not sure if they're going to allow me to get into anything, but we'll see what we get. Yeah, obviously our shadow government is there. You can say it looks similar to not building wise, but the interiors are very governmental looking, probably more Illuminati symbolism for our shadow government that is on Mars. Definitely, there's a version of there's something there. As for my connections to, they're not going to tell me anything. I just know I'm connected to the tall blondes. That's about all they're saying. Nothing. If I get anything, I'll mention it if it's worth it. Yeah, because I don't remember any of my dreams. I don't remember anything. I know something's going on. That's about it. So, all right, we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, there's definitely like Illuminati symbolism on Mars. As for, they're doing a lot of the weather experiments there also for our world. Now, realize, as we go into a higher vibration, little by little, it's going to be phases. As for how those phases occur it's baby steps. I say that 100 times, but it's definitely, that's the truth of it from what seems. It does feel like we're getting more alien awareness, but they're not saying when or how. They're preparing from what it feels like, but not to bring out fear at all. But for those that are ready for all of this, they're ready to do a connection. It's it could be 5 years from now, it could be 10 years from now, it could be 100 years from now, but it does seem like it's inevitable. Yeah, it just seems like we're in a place of knowing. Basically, from what I feel is that we're going in a time of basically knowing that our family's here, but how they're going to go about it, I'm not sure. Obviously, there's already been signs, but from what it feels like, there's going to be a bigger one. And we tell you, the government's not going to do anything. They're too controlled. Because I believe that they want peace here, and so do many who here. But it's like sometimes I know they're not supposed to interact with us because we're the child race, but there does seem like it comes to a time where it's like they feel like we're going to be those are out there. There doesn't have to be many that are ready to take the responsibility of contactee, or however you want to word it. You can say ambassador, wherever you want to word it. Basically, they'll be contacting you. You connect to governments or whoever it might be. Who knows? It does seem like it's on the table from what it feels like. As for when it happens, once again, it could be a long ways on the road. So what it seems like, is like it'll be in the skies. There'll be a presence in the sky. And I've already had it in Mexico and Phoenix. It feels like it's going to be a bigger one, where the media can no longer deny this, but I'm not sure how they're going to go about it. You call it an event. It feels like it's going to be in the skies. And the government will probably say, I can't comment on it. But it's like, it's not being very clear here, but it does seem like contact in the sky is inevitable somewhere. and it's going to be nationwide, at least for knowledge. It's not going to be like what was it, Independence Day? Talk about like that, obviously. But we'll be in the sky from what it feels like somehow. Not yet. They're not giving me. Obviously, not going to give me much. As for Mars, let's see if they give me anything. Come on, guys. Jeez. Okay, maybe I'll retitle this to something else. As for the thing, was it QAnon, whatever he is. Whoever's posting this stuff, it feels like it's a young energy, meaning I don't think it's QAnon that's posting this stuff. I think it's somebody else. And somebody else is somebody younger, from what I'm feeling when I connect to that. So, yeah, it's going through different parties, for sure. So, yeah, like he's gathering intelligence, as I said, and it's going, I think it's a male, but yeah, there's a female there somewhere, and it's going to someone that's young, that's posting this stuff wherever it is, that's younger, let's put it that way. So he's like saying, whoever, I believe it's one guy from what I can pick up on. But I feel the group does connect to each other, or he's just gathering intelligence and not telling them. I think he is. Doesn't matter. Something around those lines. It has to be cryptic, obviously. Some of it's a rant. I have looked at some of it, but it does feel like it's slightly a rant to some degree, obviously. But sometimes I think he gets kind of false information, like with the arrests and all of that, but that's got planted. There's nothing you can do about that. But that's the only thing they can connect to who this is. I don't think so. Yeah, so I don't think it's a psyop or anything like that from what I can feel. All right, you got anything for me? Mars right now is it's connected to the Illuminati, Martians too. Yeah, it feels like a lot of weather technologies are done there. At least built there or whatever it is. Our world is basically just a laughing stock. Not exactly, but they do a lot of controlling energies on Mars. Jupiter too, I think one of the moons. From what it feels. Yeah, they're all over the solar system for sure. But once again, Mars is the focal point from what it seems at this point. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. I think I mean much. Yeah, many of us have different versions of ourselves all over the universe. As for Mars, it is kind of a top secret area. It is a black ops planet. A lot of sorcery done there to keep humanity. It's used actually, sorcery is around the money to keep it controlling over humanity. There'll be spurts of information as for humanity starts to awaken more whistleblower energy will come from Mars. They're already seeing slightly some of it already. More is to come. You'll also see ships created on Mars brought here also. As for our new technologies, well, not yet. Like what you see in science fiction, but of course we are not allowed to see it. So yeah, we are scaled back technology-wise for many reasons to keep us in the dark. But yeah, what you see in the as for like you see in science fiction, like Battlestar Galactica, they have these big spaceships. I see something like that. I don't know if that's exactly what they have, but I'm seeing something around those lines that they can bring into our environment. Obviously, not going to anytime soon. There's a lot of insectoid races that are being manipulated to carry out a lot of this stuff because they can go further out in space than other beings. Mm, let's see. As for whistleblowers, let's see here. Or anything, any data? Anybody? Yeah, a lot of Zeta cloning energies are done in Sacred Space Program. Yeah, a lot of Zeta projects. Um, it seems like also astronauts are even sent off to. They just send them out in space. Jeez, as guinea pigs. They just send them off and see what happens, see where they end up. I think they have a guided idea where they're going to end up, but they don't always know where they're going to go. Yeah. There's probably a lot more to it than that, but I just see them put what I'm getting. I don't know if they're sending them from Mars or not. Feels like Mars. And they just send them off. Mostly male. I think it's all male. And to just see where they track them. Not going in detail where that's going or what that's connecting to. Let's see here. Let's see. As for the government, as for what it's going through, it is under, it's being highly manipulated, obviously, through Illuminati energies, through occultism, through rituals. But Trump seems to be breaking, the cabal does seem like they are kind of losing some members, at least as a negative. And so that's another reason why Trump is being so successful, because some of them are going rogue. And that's why he's getting where he's getting. North Korea, who knows where else we're going. So that makes sense. All right, this might be a short one. They're not giving me any information, but that's okay. So we're going to go into a different direction here. All right, this is the QAnon stuff. I'm not going to go into any of this, but it's QAnon posts if you're interested in something like this. Now I'm going to go into Microsoft a little bit. I think I mentioned this in the past. When it's connected to Microsoft, they're part of the Windows Energies. This is their campus, but I do not. This is a Vortex Energy. It's not. Yeah, it's definitely Archon. It's connected to other realities. They're to basically. It's like I said. It's mostly under a Black Ops. It's this is the public version of it. Most of it's Black Ops. It's definitely mostly. You can say it's. I would say this is connected to the secret space program. In secret, obviously, they're not going to tell us anything. But there's like another version of it that's connected to the secret space program, and I think it's doing some pretty terrible things, from what I feel. So, at least in the past, it's doing some pretty like time travel. They're just doing a lot of kind of dark, connecting to other worlds, trying to bring in negative situations here. I don't think they've been that successful, but the intentions of this company is not good. From what I feel from it, it is beyond, like Bill Gates. Well, that was another thing I was going to go into. Like Bill Gates, he's CEO of the richest man in the universe, or however you want to word it. And he's, he was put there by the cabal to basically be a puppet. And this whole thing about Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they're born at the same time. About that, they're not that much different age, and they like ran the computer company system. Just wow, how convenient. I mean, they pretty much started the revolution of computers, and it's like, oh, that's kind of strange how you're both born around the same time. How convenient. And when I connected to that, obviously it's connected to spirit, but I connected to something else. which is pretty obvious what's connected to, like, I'm going to call them the Masters of the Universe, which is our cabal, the Illuminati. And I gathered like little bits of information from this. I try to go further into it. Obviously, it's not going to be the easiest thing to connect to. Gee, I wonder why. But what I got is like they're like the puppet masters here, right? They're running the show. They have the archons here, whatever it is. Yeah, but basically, the Illuminati is kind of like our grand masters. They're kind of running the show here, and you know, they place like we have a position open. Who wants to be Bill Gates and who wants to be Steve Jobs or whatever? You know, because this is what we're going to do next. And then souls choose those lifetimes, something like that. Because like Gates, well, of course they have free will, they can do whatever they want. Obviously, Gates sold himself out, but that's, you know, it's something around those lines. Nothing's done on a mistake. So, and the spirit world is kind of like has to work with our world because we're under a what free will can break us out of this old way of doing things, but just once again it takes time. And so, you know, evolution and all of this, it's all planned out, not entirely, but there are things. Of course, spirit brings in beings here too to change things, like Jesus and other beings, Buddha, however you want to connect to Buddha, and you know, on and on. But you know, the evolution has, you know, not to say that Bill Gates and that's probably part of the cabal system, probably, but there's light and dark connected to it also. So it's like we have Bill Gates, who's not so great, and we have Steve Jobs, that's not perfect, but a lot better than Gates. He's not a complete Satanist, so, or however you want to word that. So that's what I got on it. Obviously, we can't have too much information because we can't handle it. We're not necessarily to know everything either. So that's a part of the game. So, you know, yeah, we can't. If you have all the answers, why would you even bother coming here? So obviously, we don't know anything for a good reason. So, but that's what I'm receiving from all of this. And also Google, it feels that Google is going through a lot of back and forth with Illuminati. And it doesn't, you know, positive and light, positive and dark. And it has to do with the stock market. Like if the dark doesn't like what's going on, they knock into the stock market somehow or something like that. They've been up and down. There's probably more going on in Google. I'm not getting a whole lot on it, but all these tech companies are connected to other worlds, other realities, doing all kinds of who knows what. But Microsoft is the one that's not closing itself down. It's making itself pretty clear that it's not like a two-faced company, definitely. All of them are. Microsoft's definitely. It's not good stuff there. It's like, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Obviously, there's other companies that are working with the shadow elites, but Microsoft's definitely working with it. Let's see, what else do I have? Yeah, it goes to the secret space program. Yeah, they're doing a lot of genetic engineering, but where we are heading is basically for more disclosure as for what's going on. As for how that occurs, that'd be 5 to 10 years for us to get more details. But doesn't mean that we're not going to build up to it. Also, possibly a fluctuation in technologies, and now go into more of the robotics. So, not to say it's the end of the world or anything like that, but it seems like that's where they're going to bring in higher technologies and kind of sneak it in. So Amazon's going to do like a robot in your house, already sending packages to your car. Yeah, figures. Yeah, we're turning into a cartoon now. But yeah, it does seem like they're going to use like robotics as a way of sneaking in technologies to advance us into the next level. Yeah, they don't like Like Tesla. Who saw a Tesla electric car? Now they're going to drive themselves. Whoever saw that coming? You know, especially Google doing that. So, as for where these robotic companies are coming from, I'm not sure. Probably Google's connected to it secretly. But it does seem like that's the avenue where they're going to start to push things, like Amazon with this whole. That's probably another. Either way, they're going to use robotics to do it. Let's put it that way. Whoever does it, whoever's the most successful as for connecting to the consumer. Eventually, then they'll have robot taxis, like you see in the movies, and more robots on the streets. That's going to definitely come in. And yeah, so that's why I think the alien stuff's going to increase drastically over the next 10 years for sure. As for that, they're here. Definitely. It's like they have to. It's like we're getting to this point of more technologies. Isn't it kind of a good idea we start now? All of the spiritual work is we're training ourselves to become more be able to handle this stuff. Handle the responsibility, you can say, as other people go insane. Like a voice of reason. Something like that. While everybody else is panicking in the streets, it's not gonna go that direction. I don't think they're going like that. So I'm not sure how they're going to bring it into the format, but we're going into more of a peaceful time. And yeah, we're going to turn to a science fiction movie. We already are, but it's going to get more science fiction over the next 10 years. Definitely. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, Google I'm not getting a whole lot on right now. And Mars are kind of keeping a lot of stuff back. I was thinking, well, I'm too tired to channel anybody. I'm burned out. I'll try tomorrow, but I don't know what to title this thing anymore. Just anything. Yeah, I'm trying to tap into more of. Well, I can tell you this. Yeah, there is another. I believe there is another president here. It's not Trump. It's like a shadow president. And you can say Mars is where he resides. I think it's a he. Yeah. But it's more like, I don't know if it's president of the world, but it's president of the shadow, elite. Let's put it this way. Yeah. I think there's one. Yeah, he doesn't show himself. But he's, not exactly the nicest guy either. I don't know what race it is. I don't know. But Mars is definitely a place where he hangs out a lot. So, yeah, we're not going to see him here. As for the the shadow government showing itself, you never know. It's a possibility. It is a possibility. I don't know how they would do it. There'll have to be like this new company came out of nowhere, like Google. Oh, advanced technologies. Wow, you guys are just amazing. And it's actually connected to a shadow government. Not to say companies now here aren't, but like Apple, I'll try to see if I can get about anything on Google and Apple. Microsoft seems to be an open book in some regard, but Apple and Google seem to be quiet. Like with Google, like I said, I feel like there's a war going on, at least with the elites, of where it goes, control, and just Apple. What does Apple do? I guess spying. Yeah, well, Google does that too. Yeah, spying. But then again, spying is done already, but it's spying. Well, that makes me feel good. So, I think it's some kind of it's spying. It's Google's used that for that too, as for the phone, but Apple is definitely for that. As for what level of, obviously, it's more of a black ops type of thing. Yeah, Congress is going to go. I don't think if Congress ever pull, it's funny Congress going after Facebook. That's hilarious. Yeah, right. Here's a slap on the hand. Keep up the good work. We're plugged into your system. They're doing the Orwellian world is definitely Facebook, and the government is definitely plugged into it for sure. But it's developed an AI system basically. Yeah, they're not gonna shut that down. Even if you leave, it doesn't matter. They still got something on you. They'll find a way. But um, but yeah, it does feel like if a new company comes out of nowhere, you can say Google did, you can say Apple did. So if there's a company that comes out of nowhere and all of a sudden it's doing all these advanced technologies, and wow, these guys are just amazing. Oh, there you go. So that's your shadow government. So at least that's what I see it as a possibility if they ever plan on doing that. Now you have stealth technologies that you've never seen before and all this madness. Yeah, I think we got a while for that, but it's a possibility. You can say SpaceX is kind of like that, but it's a more watered down version of it. Those are definitely probably connected to the Black Ops in some shape or form. They're obviously monitoring it, but I think they're funding it too. As for SpaceX and Blue Origins and whatever else it's trying to do commercial, yeah, they're definitely, they have their foot. Yeah, the Illuminati has their hand in all of that. Where do you think they get the money from? I mean, here's a spaceship, and it's like, where do you think we get the money from that? So, yeah, they're funding it somehow through shareholders or whatever it might be. You gotta have their hand in that. It's another source of income, but it's another part of manipulations. But there's definitely agendas. Basically, like SpaceX will probably be taken over. I don't think it is now, but eventually it probably will be by the elite over time once it becomes successful. So that's what I see on that. So, all right, yeah, this is kind of like a watered down version of channeling. I did a long one last night, and this one I was planning on going a long time and going more in depth, but that ain't happening. So, all right, blessings, everyone. Thank you for your support. I'll have more energy tomorrow. Tonight, yeah, I wasn't expecting to do so much today, but tomorrow I'm gonna take it easy. It had a purpose, so it was either way. All right, take care. If there's anything else, something else I was gonna say. I don't remember. Well, all right. Well, see you guys in Astral. I'll do another video there. Okay, take care.